Now let us see how to prepare two-column cash book. Two-column cash book means both the sides of cash book, receipt side and payment side, we find two amount columns, one for discount allowed and cash column. Under payment side, one for discount received and amount column. If in the problem nothing is told, that columns are belongs to what purpose, then the two column cash book means cash book with discount and cash columns. But in this problem they are asking us to prepare two column cash book. If we see the transactions, we are finding lot of bank transactions, receipts made in the form of received in the form of checks, payment also made, some expenses also paid, and cash is deposited into the bank, and amount withdrawn from bank for office purpose. So that on the basis of the information given here, they are asking us to prepare two column cash book, not mentioned which columns we need to use. Here lot of bank transactions, so that we need to open two column cash book, one for cash column, another one for bank column. Okay, this point you should keep in mind. Now let us see how to solve this particular problem. Okay, so on August 2018 there is cash balance of 15,000. They are not going to mention which type of balance. Is it a debit balance or credit balance? Because cash balance means it is debit balance only, so it will never show a credit balance. Okay, but this may not happen in case of bank balance. It may be a debit balance or a credit balance. It may be debit balance or a credit balance. In the problem they have to mention which type of balance is this. If nothing is mentioned in the problem which type of balance, we should assume that this is a debit balance only. Okay, this point you should keep in mind in connection with the bank balance. Okay, here there is a opening balance cash 15,000 and bank 10,000 rupees. Now we are going to open two column cash book. So it looks like this. See here, two column cash book, two sides, debit side or receipt side or left hand side. One more column is added. It is just like single column cash book only. Here we are going to find two columns, one for cash, one for bank. Okay, receipt side. So here one date column will be there. Okay, then particulars to write the details. Then this is receipt number, to whom or from whom we received the money. For them we are going to give a receipt, that number we are going to write here. Then ledger folio, transferring the same ledger account, this entry to the respective ledger account. Then one amount column for cash, one amount column for bank. The same happens under payment side also. Date, particulars, one change here, voucher number, from whom we are going to make the payment. From them we are going to take the signature in a particular statement that we call in the name voucher. That number we are going to write under payment side. Again ledger folio column. So two amount columns, one for cash and one for bank. Okay, now these transactions we are going to record. So whenever there is a debit balance, we need to record it under debit side. So you can see here, opening balance cash 15,000 and bank 10,000. Now let us go back to the transactions. Here transaction is happening on 3rd. Paid insurance premium by check. The same principle we are going to follow here. If any receipt is made in the form of cash or check, we are going to write under receipt side. If received in the form of cash, record in cash column. If you receive in the form of check, record in bank column. One change is there that I will tell you when that type of transaction will come. Okay, and under payment side, if you are making in the form of cash, record under payment side in cash column. If you are making payment in the form of check, record the same under payment side in bank column. Now here paid insurance premium by check rupees 4,200. This is what one of the expenses we are paying. Whatever it is for expenses or person or whatever, if you are making the payment, what we need to do, we need to record this under payment side. We are paying in the form of check, that's why this appeared in bank column. Okay, we need to reduce the bank balance. Any transaction which you are going to record under debit side, that means balance is going to increase. Okay, any transaction which you are going to record under payment side, that means balance is going to reduce. So we had the balance, bank balance of rupees 10,000 in the beginning. Now we are making the payment of 4,200. So balance to be reduced, that's why we record the same under payment side. So this is in connection with recording these expenses. Now come back to the transactions. Now next transaction, it is happening on 8th, that is cash sales 22,000. So in what form here cash is received, that is not given, either in the form of cash or in the form of check. So in that time what we need to do, we need to consider cash only. Okay, so that record this, we are receiving the cash. So go to the receipt side, write the date in date column, that is 8th, and record that to cash sales, or you can write only sales. And what is the amount you are receiving? 22,000 received in the form of cash, that's why we are recording this under cash column, not in the bank column. If you are received in the form of check, you are going to record which type of check. If it is a ordinary check and nothing is told in the problem that that check has been cashed or deposited into the bank, the assumption you need to make is that open check has been taken to the bank and cash is withdrawn on the same day. You need to record in cash column only. This one point you should keep in mind. What is that? If any receipt is made in the form of open check, that is other than crossed check, and no information is given in the problem, the same check is cashed that day itself or deposited into the bank. Okay, what we need, the assumption we need to make, the check has been cashed on the same date itself. Okay, that's why we need to record that in the cash column only, not in the bank column. If any receipt is received in the form of check, that is in the form of crossed check, then in the problem they told, that is the same check is deposited into the bank or not. Okay, you need to record that in bank column only. So this is what the one extra information you should keep in mind at the time of receipt of cash, either in the form of cash or in the form of check. Here cash sales has been taken place, cash received 22,000, that we recorded under receipts side. Now let us go back to the next transaction. This is happening on okay, one more it is there, cash discount. Actually this is the word which is used in the problem. This is one of the wrong information. So whenever there is cash sales, we are not going to give any cash discount. Actually that should be the trade discount. Okay, so we are going to give trade discount, not the cash discount. Cash discount is given when if we are receiving money from debtors. If you want to receive 1,000 rupees, if you receive only 950 and 50,000 rupees what we are not receiving, that is what discount allowed, that is cash discount. Okay, that will appear in the books of business, not at the time of sale what discount we are going to give, which is a trade discount, which is not going to appear in the books. So by mistake or intentionally they are given in the problem this one, so that is actually wrong. So here cash discount at the time of sales should not be considered in the books of accounts. That's why total cash sales made 22,000, that we recorded under receipt side. Okay, that it is recorded here 22,000 rupees cash sales. Now let us see the next transaction. This is payment for purchases. So we are making purchases. of rupees 21,000. Again they are allowing cash discount 700. Again the wrong name or word used in this problem. Again this at the time of purchases, if they give any discount, that is called trade discount. Again this trade discount is not going to appear in the books of business. How much actually payment we are making, that is 21,000, that only will appear under credit side of cash book. Okay, the same we are doing now here. So go to the cash book, we are making payment of 21,000. see here, so payment side on 9th it is happening. By cash purchases it is 21,000. We are paying this in the form of cash, that's why we are recording this in cash column. Okay, this is in connection with this transaction which has happened on 9th. Now let us see the next one, that is cash deposited in bank. Okay, so we should be little bit careful at the time of recording these type of transactions, that is cash deposited into the bank or cash withdrawn from the bank. Okay, so here actually cash is not completely going out of the business, it is simply going to our bank. I can withdraw this at any point of time. In the same manner, so from any amount if you withdraw from bank, so from bank cash is coming into the business, it is not going out of the business. So that for a single transactions we need to record two sides of the cash book, one under debit side and one under credit side. So that transactions we are going to call in the name contra entry. Okay, so here from which column is reducing. For example, in this transaction we are depositing into the bank, so cash is reducing, and we are depositing into the bank, so bank column should increase. So under receipt side we need to record in bank column, under payment side we need to record in cash column, because by recording payment side cash balance has been reduced, by recording under receipt side bank balance has been increased. This is when if we are going to deposit any amount into the bank. Here deposited into the bank rupees 15,000. Now to record the transaction, go to the cash book, 3 column cash book. See here, 9th we are depositing. By bank account it is 15,000 rupees. We reduced in cash column. Cash is reducing because we deposited into the bank. Okay, so cash is reduced by 15,000 because we deposited into the bank. That's why we need to write here by bank account reduce in cash column. And the same transaction on the same day, that is on 9th, we need to increase the bank column because deposit we are making, this is 15,000 rupees. Okay, that we need to record on the receipt side, and which account name we need to write? Cash account, because cash is deposited into the bank, that's why bank balance has been increased. Like this we are going to record for a single transaction both sides, that is payment side and receipt side, that we are going to call in the name contra entry. That is to be denoted in ledger folio column. This is one of the contra entry. Okay, so in connection with this you have to give little bit importance, and you should understand this. This is the major thing you should keep in mind, either in 2 column cash book with cash and bank column and 3 column cash book. This type of adjustment will definitely appear. Now let us see the next transaction, that is telephone bills paid by check. Okay, so telephone bill is paid by check. So now bank balance is going to reduce. Now in bank column we need to record under payment side. Now let us see the same we did or not. So go to the cash book, see the date. This is happening on 10th. Okay, so by telephone bill we are paying 10th telephone bill, and we paid the cash balance of 2,300. Okay, we reduced the bank balance, so we paid in the form of check, record under payment side in bank column. Let's go back to the problem. This is happened on when this is on 10th. Now the next date it is 14th. Withdraw from bank for personal use. Any amount withdrawn by bank for personal use means owner is making drawings. Okay, here cash is not coming into the cash box, it is not coming to the office. Okay, owner is taking for his personal purpose. In that time, that is to be treated as drawings. Now he is taking the money from bank, so that from bank we need to reduce the balance. Now go to the account or the cash book. See there, on 10th, this happened on 14th. So we are recording the transaction under payment side. Okay, 10, that is 14th, drawings account. How much? 6,000 rupees taken from the bank. This is the entry we need to make. So now come back to the cash book. Transactions. This is on 16th. Withdrawn from bank for office use. See here, previous transaction what happened? Here withdrawn for personal purpose. Now it is withdrawn for office purpose. This is the opposite entry for deposit into the bank. Now from bank we are withdrawing for office purpose, that is 14,500. Again this is one of the contra entry. Now amount is withdrawn from bank, so bank balance to be reduced. Now cash is coming into the cash box, so cash balance to be increased. Any amount we need to reduce, we need to record under payment side. Any balance we need to increase, that we need to record under receipt side. And in contra, this is one of the contra entry, that is to be denoted by writing C in ledger folio column. For a single transactions, we are going to record under both side of the cash book, one in cash column, one in bank column, that we are going to call in the name contra entry. Now let us see here, this is happened on 16th. We are withdrawing from bank how much? 14,500. So we recorded under payment side. Now the balance of 14,500 has been reduced in bank column because of withdrawing that. It is going to the cash account on 16th. Because of withdrawal of cash from bank, there is a reduction of 14,500. This is one of the contra entry. And the same cash is coming into my cash box. Okay, that is in it. Again we need to record the same transaction, that is on 16th. The cash balance has been increased by 14,500 because we withdrawn amount from bank. Okay, so this is one of the contra entry. Like this, any deposit made, any withdrawal made for office purpose, so that transactions we need to record in 2-column cash book or 3-column cash book. Let us go back to the problem. This is happened on 16th. Now the next date, it is on 20th. Received check and deposited in bank. So clearly they have given received check and deposited into the bank. Here, if this information is not given, deposited into the bank, and which type of check, if this is the crossed check or the ordinary check, if that information is also not given, then what assumption we need to make? We received ordinary check and deposited the same on the same day. Then received the ordinary check, not deposited. We have withdrawn cash from the cash counter on the same day. Even we received the check, this transaction we need to record in cash column only under receipt side. But whenever there is a information that amount has been received in the form of check and deposited into the bank, now even we received the check and deposited to the bank, now bank balance should increase. To increase, which side we need to write? Under receipt side. In which column we need to record? In bank column. Now let us see the same happened or not. This is happened on 20th. Now let us go to the solution. Here this is on 20th. We need to go to the receipt side. you can see here check received account, from whom it is received, that name is not given, that's why we are recording here check received account. If any name of the person from whom received, if that is given, we are going to record that person's name here. So we increased by recording under receipt side in the bank column. Okay, 10,700. Like this we need to make the entry. Now go back to the problem. This is happened on 20th. Now the next transaction, it is 23rd. Received cash from customer 6,850. It is very clear, we are receiving cash from a customer. Now which side we need to write? Under, this is to be recorded under receipt side, because cash balance we need to increase. Which column we are going to write? Under in cash column. Okay, let us see the same happened or not. This is on 23rd. Okay, received cash from customer. Now let us go back to the, wait one second, let us clear this. Okay, go to the problem. This is on 23rd. Okay, we are receiving cash. See here on 23rd, receipt side we are recording this transaction. Customer account, name is given, name we are going to write, customer given, customer account we are written. This is the date 23rd, and we received in the form of cash. So cash balance to be increased, that we are recorded 6,850 in cash column. Okay, this is the entry we need to make. Next, 23rd over. Next transaction, this is on 24th. Discount allowed 150. Okay, next day we are allowing discount, but here we are maintaining which book? 2 column cash book with cash and bank columns. So that's why there is no one more column for discount. This will be recorded in discount allowed account. One more ledger account we are going to open, but here we are opening only 2 column cash book. That's why this transaction is not going to appear in this problem in 2 column cash book with cash and bank column. Next transaction, it is on 25th, that is stationery purchased for cash 1,800 and paid in check, that is paid in the form of cash 350. Okay, same item we are the cartage paid in cash 350. Okay, same date. So on 25th itself, 2 transaction has been taking place, that is stationery purchased for cash 1,800 and paid cartage rupees 350. Both are cash transactions. Now the same we need to record. This is the payments under payment side of 2 column cash book. Now let us go to the cash book. See here, this is happened on 25th. So by stationery, it is stationery account on 25th. In cash column we are going to record 1,800, and on the same day 25th, for cartage we are paying 350. Both we are paying in the form of cash only. Cash balance need to be reduced, that's why both we recorded under payment side of cash column. Okay, this is the transaction for this payment of expenses. Now the next transaction, this is happening on 28th. Cash deposited into the bank rupees 4,500. The same entry happened in previous day also, that is on a different date. Now again we are okay, check received from customer, stationery allowed discount. Now 28th, check deposited in bank 4,500. Okay, on 25th, okay, 25th, one more transaction is taking place, that is checks received from customer 4,500 and checks deposited to the bank on 28th. See, here we should be very cautious. On 25th, we are receiving some amount from the customer of rupees 4,500 in the form of check. Which type of check, it is not mentioned. Deposited or not on the same day, that is also not mentioned. So in this situation, what assumption we need to make is this check is the ordinary check and the check is presented into the bank and amount has been withdrawn on the same day. That assumption only we need to make. On 25th, for this particular transaction, even we are receiving some receipt in the form of check. Because of the absence of the information, which type of check is this? This is a ordinary check or crossed check? Okay, if it is a crossed check, that means that check cannot be used for withdrawing the cash at the counter of the bank. It should be deposited. So in that time you need to record this transaction in bank column only. When only check is given, it is ordinary check or crossed check. If it is not mentioned and deposited into the bank or not, that information is also not available for that particular day. What assumption we need to make? We presented the check at the counter of the bank and we have withdrawn this amount from the bank by using that particular check. That assumption only we need to make. So on 25th, what entry we need to make in the book of cash? That is, see here, on 28th we received cash 4,500. So this is what 4,500 happening on what? 25th. To customer account. In which column you need to write? In cash column only, because the balance you need to increase. Okay, balance you need to increase, not in the bank column. Okay, keep this particular point in mind. We need to record this in cash column to increase the balance, not in the bank column, even though we are receiving in the form of check. For what date? For 25th. Okay, but after this date, what happened? You can see in the problem. On 28th, okay, check is deposited into bank. Which check? That is not told here. The check which is received on 25th, immediate previous day, we need to see any amount received in the form of check. That check only deposited to the bank. That assumption you need to make. That's you can check the amount also. That is 4,500. These are the two hints you need to at the time of identifying which check you are depositing into the bank. Okay. Now the check which you received on 25th, that you are depositing into the bank. On 25th, what assumption been made? That is one of the ordinary check, and we presented the same at the counter of the bank and we withdrawn that much of 4,500 and we increased the cash column instead of bank column. Okay, now we are depositing that check into the bank. Now contra entry will come to the picture now. Now what balance we increased in cash bank on 25th? Now the same we need to reduce, so that we need to record this under payment side. Now the bank balance need to increase to that extent. The same we are going to record under receipt side. Okay, the same did here. You can see the problem, that is the solution on this particular date. What happened? See on 28th. Okay, first we are reducing the bank account. This is on 28th. We are reducing the cash amount because previous day on 25th we increased 4,500 rupees of cash balance, even though we received in the form of check. Now on 28th we are depositing this same check into the bank. That's why cash column for rupees 4,500 we need to reduce. That's why we are recording this under payment side. This is one of the contra entry. Why cash balance is reducing? Because deposited into the bank. In particulars column you are going to write bank account, and in under payment side in cash column you are going to record 4,500. You are going to record this as contra in ledger folio column. And on the same 28th, that transaction you are going to write under receipt side also to increase the bank column. That cash is deposited into the bank. Now bank balance has been increased because of depositing the cash into the bank, and the same you are going to write in contra in as C, that is contra entry in ledger folio column. Okay, what happened here? This is the main adjustment in this particular transaction. The same may appear in 3 column cash book also. On 25th, we received a check. Which type of check? It is not given in the problem. If this is an ordinary check, if they mentioned crossed check, then that check cannot be used at the counter of the bank for withdrawal. So that should be deposited directly. We can write in bank column. But here it is not mentioned ordinary check or crossed check. If nothing is given, we need to make the assumption that this is one of the ordinary check, and deposited or not, that information is also not available. Then what assumption we need to make? The same check has been used for withdrawing the cash at the counter of the bank, and cash came into the cash box, so that cash balance has been increased by recording this under receipt side. But on 28th, what happened? The same check has been deposited. So on 25th, what cash balance we increased? 4,500. The same we need to reduce. That's why on 28th we are reducing cash balance by 4,500. Now that balance is coming into the bank. Okay, 4,500. So now bank balance we are increasing by recording under receipt side. So under receipt side you are going to write cash account. Amount is 4,500, and under payment side for the same transaction you are going to record bank account, and you are going to record in cash column 4,500. For the same transaction, both sides you are going to pass, one in cash column, one in bank column. One column will reduce and one column will increase. That transaction we are going to call in the name contra entry. Okay. Now let us see the next transaction. This is 28th check deposited over. On 31st, check deposited on 28th dishonored. Okay, dishonored means the person who has given the check, after depositing it into the bank, now bank will send the same check to that particular bank who has given that particular check. That is, we received a check from a customer. The customer may be maintaining an account with a particular bank. For that bank, our bank will send this particular check for receiving of the cash. But the person who has given the check, that person in his account, he may not be maintaining the sufficient balance, or because of any reason, wrong signature or mistake in the date, or what amount written in the numbers and written in words, if they are not matching, in the time the check may get dishonored. Means the bank where we deposited our check, that bank is not going to collect the money from that particular bank on which name the check has been written. Okay, that we are going to call in the name dishonor. So the check what we deposited on 28th, 4,500 rupees, has been dishonored. That means that much of amount has not been received. That much of amount has been not increased in the bank account. That is the meaning here. So that in 31st entry we need to pass. So what entry we increased, that is 4,500 rupees, what we increased on 28th in bank column, now that is to be reduced. See here. So by recording under payment side in bank column 4,500, actually this is not the actual payment, but what increased here 4,500 in bank column, now recording under payment side 4,500 we are reducing. So right here by check dishonored account. This is happened on 31st of January. What is the month? That is 31st August 2018. Okay. Now on 31st, here different transactions are taking place. On 31st again 3 transactions are taking place. That is rent paid 4,000 rupees, one of the expenses paid in the form of check. So bank balance should be reduced. This is to be recorded under payment side. Then paid wages in cash. So we are paying cash. This should appear under payment side. Amount to be recorded in cash column. So paid cash for postage 220. Okay. Now the cash balance is going to affect here, and this 220 we are going to record under payment side in cash column. Now let us see the same happened or not. So see here, under payment side we paid rent in the form of check. That's why we record the same under payment side in bank column. Then wages and postage, these two expenses are paid in the form of cash. Under payment side in cash column we recorded this. Okay, so all transactions we recorded in 2-column cash book in the respective columns, receipt side and payment side, either in cash or bank columns. Now at the end we need to find the total, or we need to find the balances of this 2-column cash book, which balances are showing cash and bank accounts. Okay, now in cash column, no doubt, definitely the cash column should show a debit balance. It will never show credit balance. That's why first you should find the total under debit side, that is 62,850. okay, the write the same in credit side or payment side, 62,850. From that 62,850 we are going to deduct all these items. Okay, minus 21,000, minus 15,000, minus 1,800, minus 350, minus 4,500, minus 3,000, I minus 220. You will get the final balance, that is 16,980. So cash column is showing a debit balance of 16,980. The closing balance of August becomes the opening balance for immediate next month, that is on 1st September, it is 16,980. That you should bring down to the next month. Now in the same may not happen in the case of bank. It may happen, may not happen. So first you should find which side total is more, either receipt side or payment side. In this problem it is showing more under receipt side, that is 40,200. okay, the same you are going to write in bank column payment side, 40,200. From that you are going to deduct all the amounts what you are recording under from that total you are going to deduct all the amounts what you entered under payment side, that is 4,200, 2,300, minus 6,000, minus 14,500, minus 4,500, minus 4,000. So you will get the closing balance of 4,700, and the same 4,700 becomes the opening balance for the next 4,700. okay, like this you are going to prepare 2-column cash book. So at the time of passing contra entry, that is whenever a deposit has been made from cash box to the bank, and whenever cash has been withdrawn from the bank for office purpose, okay, there you need to record the contra entry. And in connection with that receipt of checks, any receipt received in the form of check, if which type of check, if it is not mentioned, then you should assume that is one of the ordinary check, and it is deposited on the same day or not, that is also not mentioned. You need to assume it is not deposited. By using that check, you have withdrawn the cash at the counter of the bank in whose name or in whose bank the check has been written, and you need to record in the cash column only. If any amount received in the form of check, if they have given that is one of the crossed check, or they have mentioned it is deposited on the same day, then you are going to record that amount under receipt side in bank column. So these important informations keep in mind at the time of preparation of 2-column cash book and at the time of preparation of 3-column cash book also. Okay, so see the video properly, pause whenever you require, and write down this in your notes, practice it, understand.